What's up guys, today I want to talk to you about two tokens that potentially could 10x from their current price. The thing is, to understand why I've come to this conclusion, you first have to understand this one glaringly obvious fact that I just didn't grasp fully before today. I think most of us, especially if we're new to crypto and DeFi, think, wow, big APY number, I'm gonna be rich. In fact, based on what I've seen, that's usually the exact opposite of what's likely to happen. What I aim to demonstrate to you today is that deflationary and deterministic coins and tokens make far better investments in general than tokens that rely on inflationary rewards as the main source of revenue for the end user. First of all, let's make sure we are all working from the same term definitions. Deflationary as it relates to crypto is when a coin or token is designed to reduce its supply over time. This usually happens through burns or locking up of the tokens either manually or automatically. Deterministic usually refers to a mathematical model in which outcomes are precisely determined through known relationships among states and events, without any room for random variation. In crypto, when it comes to price, there is no truly deterministic models, but you can get a range that allows for different levels of confidence about a particular outcome at different prices. I'm going to explain more about this later on. Lastly, let's define inflationary rewards. For my purpose, I define this as the process of creating new tokens or distributing non-circulating tokens as a reward for providing liquidity and/or staking. Like I said earlier, most protocols that rely on inflationary rewards as the source of revenue for the end user don't have positive price action without ecosystem incentive programs to prop them up. There are countless examples of this. Polycat Finance was the #1 DEX on Polygon Matic. During the height of Matic's liquidity mining incentive program, Polycat Finance's Fish token was worth over $60 a token. Now, 1 year later, it's worth about 40 cents. Spirit Swap was one of the top competing DEXs on Phantom and was worth over 50 cents, having now corrected over 80% to its current price of about 8 cents. On Avalanche, a protocol that I'm actually a fan of, Trader Joe, was worth over $5 during the height of Avalanche Rush incentives, and since then has retraced roughly 80% as well, sitting at around $1 at the time I'm recording this. What I've come to believe is that these inflationary rewards, while enticing initially, end up devaluing the token in the long run because eventually supply starts to outpace demand. That's why you notice that as time progresses, teams will try to come up with more and more things to do with their tokens. I had a great discussion with Blue from Trader Joe about this, and if you're interested in learning about some of the new ways Trader Joe is adding additional utility to the Joe token, click the link in the top right corner for more info. This isn't exclusive to farm tokens, however. The exact same could be said about ecosystem coins as well. An example that at the time of recording is still in its incentive program stage is the Cosmos ecosystem. In case you didn't know, the Cosmos ecosystem is currently having their airdrop season. Essentially, what this means is that if you are staking a certain amount of Atom, Osmo, and/or Juno tokens, there is a high likelihood that you will receive some sort of airdrop from new chains launching on the Cosmos ecosystem. In my view, this has a similar effect as liquidity mining incentives, but might have a longer lasting positive effect on price, since the act of staking requires you to lock up your tokens for up to 21 days. What happens after airdrop season stops or when airdrops are consistently disappointing in terms of their value has yet to be determined. But if the outcome of past liquidity mining incentive programs are to be our guide, then I'm not terribly bullish. In my opinion, what separates the two protocols I'm going to talk about next from the rest of the assets out currently is the fact that they do not have inflationary rewards or have limited inflation temporarily with plans to allow the asset to become deflationary. If you've been watching my channel for a while, then this first coin should be no surprise to you. Terra's Luna coin is, in my opinion, one of the best assets with deterministic price action that is available on the market currently. Let's break this down piece by piece. At a basic level, Luna is the coin that absorbs the volatility of Terra stablecoins, the most popular of which is its dollar peg stablecoin UST. You can always mint 1 UST by destroying, also known as burning, a dollar's worth of Luna, and also mint $1 worth of Luna by burning 1 UST. As demand for UST increases, like it has been over the last year, the circulating supply of Luna decreases. This decrease in supply means there is less and less Luna that is available to burn in order to create more UST. Over time, as long as demand for UST stays constant or continues to grow, This would make Luna a deflationary asset. People have made relatively accurate predictive models to show what the expected Luna price should be at different UST market caps. One model that I would recommend would be Murray Rudd's, which he continuously updates every few months with new data. His most recent update even takes into account the additional 10 billion Bitcoin being added to the reserve. Honestly, his Substack on how he created his models is a great read. If you have a mind for these things, and if you have the time, you should definitely check it out. Based on his model, Luna could 10x, meaning get to $1,000 per Luna at 130 billion UST market cap for 90% of all the models he runs. When will UST's market cap reach that range? Well, in case you were wondering, it probably won't be this year. But conservatively, it could be sometime by Q4 of 2023. The next coin is one that I just recently came to understand the value of personally, and that's thorchains' Rune token. What makes Rune special is its tokenomics. There isn't a simple way to explain thorchain, but for ease of understanding, think of it as a decentralized exchange that lets you swap assets from any chain natively. What this means is that you can take native Bitcoin on the Bitcoin blockchain and swap it for UST on the Terra blockchain without having to bridge or wrap either asset. I don't want to get into the weeds of thorchain because that's a large enough topic for its own video, but what makes this all possible is the fact that for every $1 of liquidity in a thorchain pool, $3 of Rune is locked up. In part, this is because every asset that's on the platform is paired with Rune. In addition to this, the node operators that earn fees must lock up 2 times a pool's value of non-Rune assets as collateral. I know this all sounds a little confusing, but it all works out to this. As more TVL gets added to thorchain, the circulating supply of tradable Rune shrinks since node operators need to buy Rune to continue to be node operators, and liquidity providers need Rune to pair with for their LPs. This is only the tip of the iceberg when it comes to Rune tokenomics. They have plans to implement a similar tokenomic strategy for thorchain's stablecoin in the future, which would make Rune deflationary as well as a scarce resource if adoption of their Thor USD on the platform is useful. Rune is the first coin that I've seen that has a minimum value based on TVL, since there is Rune that essentially becomes locked when non-Rune assets are added to the system. You can essentially say that Rune's value is 3x thorchain's TVL. A great resource for additional thorchain information is the ThorSwap Discord or @ThornMaximalist on Twitter. He has put together a series of tweets that have been very helpful, in my opinion, to understand some of the more complex ways that thorchain works. The mods on the ThorSwap Discord were also a great help when I was doing my research and were very responsive when I was having issues getting my XDeFi wallet to connect. I strongly encourage you to not believe anything I'm saying and do your own research. I'm going to leave links to all my sources in the description. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If I got something wrong or you disagree, I want to know about it. I'll see you guys in the next video, and as always, we can keep talking about getting more coins.